right, we're going to do a quick homework check really quick. So number one, what's the value of the expression 5 parentheses 2 cubed minus 3? I saw a lot of my kids yesterday doing the exact thing that we keep saying is the biggest mistake, which is when you do your exponent, it is not 2 times 3. It is 2 times itself this many times. So I'm going to go ahead and write down my order of operations. So, do I have any grouping in this problem? Yes, I do. I have these parentheses, so I have to do what's inside first. Now, notice inside, I also have exponents and subtraction, so I've got to decide which one of those to do first. Well, if I look, exponents always come way before subtraction down here, so I'm going to do 2 to the power of 3 first. It helps some of mine to go to the side and actually write it down, because even if they could tell me it was 2 times 2 times 2, they were still telling me that that is 6, and that's not true. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Now, I have not done everything inside my grouping, so when I bring everything down, I've got to make sure to bring those grouping symbols down because I'm not done with them yet. And also, you don't want it to look like 58. It's 5 times whatever is inside here. So now I'm going to start over. Do I have any grouping? Yes, I do. 8 minus 3. Bring down your parentheses. Some people asked a good question. They said, do I have grouping here? Yes, I do, because I have parentheses. Well, those are grouping symbols, but notice inside it's just a number. So in this case, the parentheses just mean multiplication. And in this case, it's the only thing left to do. So we know our answer is 25. Miguel writes 2n to the 4th power. He says when you double the value of n, you double the value of the expression. Do you agree or disagree? Well, why don't we just try it? Let's say n is 2 and see what that is. And then let's double n. So double 2 would be 4. And let's just see if it also doubles the value of the whole thing. So 2 to the power of 4 would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So that's my exponent. And then I've got 2 times 16. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1. So here we get 32. Now let's see what happens if we double the value of n. That's what it's asking us. So we're going to come over here. Let's try 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16. Now we've got to do 16 times 16. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3. I'm going to add my placeholder and move over to the tens place. 1 times 6, 1 times 1. $256. So if you double the value of n, is the whole expression doubled? Well, no, 256 is much larger than 32. Evaluate the expression 1 to the power of 4 plus 3 parentheses 10 minus 2 all squared. So let's go back to our GEMDOS. Do we have any grouping? Yes, we do. Get rid of some of this so we have some room. We do have grouping, so I'm going to have to do what is inside here first. 10 minus 2 is 8. Not really done with the parentheses. There's just an 8 left, but I'm going to bring everything else down exactly like I see it. Now, do I have grouping? Well, again, there's not really anything inside this grouping, so let's say no. Do I have any exponents? Yes, I do, so I have to do that part first. Some of my kids were doing 3 times 8 first, but look, multiplication comes after exponents, so 8 squared is 8 times 8, not 8 times 2. So that's 64. Notice when I bring my 3 down, it's not 364, it's 3 times 64. So if you want to use the dot, you can. If you want to use the parentheses, you can, but we are multiplying. Now, I also really could have done this exponent at the same time I did this exponent, but I kind of forgot. So 1 to the 4th power, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. We should know that that's just 1. So let's just erase that step and put a big 1. So we did this exponent and this exponent at the same time. Now we go down to this row. Do I have any grouping? No. Do I have any exponents? No. Do I have multiplication or division? Yes, I do. I've got to do 64 times 3, 192. The only thing left to do is add that 193. On this one, we have our expression 6 plus s squared, and it said find the number of grid squares in a character of size 7. So we're going to have to substitute on this one. Where the s is, I'm going to put 7. So, do I have any grouping? Nope. Do I have exponents? Yes, I do. 7 squared is 7 times 7, not 7 times 2. Grouping, no. Exponents, no. Multiply, divide, no. Addition, subtraction, yep. That's the only thing left to do. 55. All right, here we've got a lot of substitution. We have a P, a Q, an R. So first thing I'm going to do is substitute all my numbers. So I know that P is equal to 6. Q is 2. R is 4. And I'm going to add a multiplication here because it's 3R. That's 3 times R. And then we've got to divide by 2. So this one's a little longer than we're used to. Do I have any grouping symbols? No. Do I have exponents? Yes.
We need all faculty and staff who are dressed up for 80s Day to come down to the lobby for a picture. Again, all faculty and staff who are dressed up for 80s Day, come down to the lobby now for a picture.
All right, so this exponent is 216. I'm going to bring down my subtraction. Then we've got 2 to the power of 4. 4 times 4. Everything else I'm bringing down exactly like it is. Do I have grouping? No. Exponents? No. So now I'm to multiply, divide from left to right. So the first thing I get to is 3 times 4. Everything else is going to come down exactly like we see it. I still have multiply, divide here, so I've got to do this part first. Everything else down. Now I'm to addition and subtraction from left to right. So I'm going to do this first. That would be 200. Last but not least, 206. And notice as I'm simplifying, it's slowly but surely kind of coming down to a V. And that's how every single question should look. Last one, A equals 6s squared, similar to the one we found above, to find the surface area of the cube with the length of s. So we have edges that are 10 inches long. I'm going to go substitute. A equals 6 times 10 squared. I've got to do my exponent first, so 10 times 10 is 100. Last but not least, my surface area of the cube would be 600 inches. And that's your homework.